Yo, gang. What's up? It's Trollbot.EXE and welcome back to Trollbot Studios. Yay! And today, welcome to the final part of King of Kings. And today, we're gonna see how this whole thing ends. So, for a recap, Nathaniel and Adam decide to go on break. And during so, Adam began planning his next move and decided to run for president, going all the way, seeing how his time is running out. So he decides to run the 2028 election. While his staff is working around the clock, he decides to go to Ethiopia to relax and take some time off. Nathaniel also takes a trip as well. After Adam gets back, Nathaniel appears as well, strangely telling Adam to halt all their plans and scrap them. But why? Find out today. What do you mean quit? We worked so hard on this. What do you mean just quit? I already started a campaign for the presidency next year. Nathaniel looks on, now with an emotionless look in his eyes. States and governments aren't all that different from people in some aspects, and states can die as well. But since you've already taken matters into your own hands, we will give you one final proposal. If you don't win the presidency this year, then we have lost. Adam takes in all this information, trying to make sense of what he's saying. The ideas proposed were alien to Adam, and not only stood against his ambitions, but his entire worldview as well. This only served to reinvigorate Adam, and gives Adam the encouragement to fight even harder to win the presidency. And so he does. Day and night, he labored, as if rehearsing for a big concert tour where he'd have 50 shows to do across the world. Adam perfected his campaign strategy. Although Nathaniel helped Adam here and there, he mostly just sounded silent, looking at Adam. Pity colored Nathaniel's face. However, when confronted, Adam encourages Nathaniel to take matters into his own hands, saying, "Well, since you're so wise, why don't take matters into your hands for once?" Inspired by Adam's vigor in those words, Nathaniel begins spreading the word about the campaign through whatever means necessary. And so they raise enough campaign funds so that when Adam ran in 2028, he won the popular vote. However, in the Electoral College, he lost by 10 points. This defeat crushes him as he walls himself up in his home. Meanwhile, Nathaniel began lashing onto rumors that the election was tampered with deliberate Electoral College miscounts. And so Nathaniel decided to do further digging with the help of police, and eventually covered a conspiracy between bureaucrats to make sure Adam did not win. But why? There's no way they caught winning the plan, right? As Adam crawled out of his house, he was greeted with the sight of Nathaniel getting arrested and sent to prison. The last act Nathaniel did for Adam was give him a list of coordinates, and thus Nathaniel said to Adam, "Goodbye, my friend. You have been very good to me." Over the coming days, Adam and the remainders of his administration lobbied for Nathaniel's release. However, their biggest defeat would come later. While in his prison cell, Nathaniel was visited by some gang members who proceeded to cut and stab him. Again and again they stabbed into Nathaniel, only to realize that he didn't react, even as they struck at vital arteries. As Nathaniel laid, dying on the floor, he oversaw the gang members leaving and one of them shouting, "Early release, here we come! We finna have the biggest coke out when we out!" And Nathaniel mused himself. Of course they were hired to kill me. But why? Why do the culprits want the death of their own country? Nathaniel reasoned to himself that perhaps the masterminds behind this plot have the same perspective on countries as he has, only they decide to hasten things up a bit. Nathaniel understood their point of view and saw himself in their shoes, thinking to himself he may have made the exact same decisions they have. And with that, Nathaniel takes his last breaths and dies in the wall of his prison cell. When Adam found out, he was devastated, wondering how can things get any worse. And so, deciding to honor his friend's request, Adam traveled to the coordinates. He was drawn to it. Despite his sadness, despite everything that happened, he still kept going. Almost as if whatever is there is calling him, telling him to brush aside his emotions and to focus on getting there, no matter how he feels. And so Adam travels from New York to Paris, then to Ankara, and then marching down, he finds the coordinates and finds that same rock formation. The rock formation glows once again as a cacophony of light and sound overwhelm Adam and knock him unconscious. When Adam wakes up, he finds he now has a sack filled with various glowing stones, and now finally understands what Nathaniel has been trying to communicate to him. Now Adam has a higher perspective of existence and decides to traverse the mountains more to seek more enlightenment. Meanwhile, back in 1800, a French soldier wakes up in a Turkic canopy, having had a crazy dream. He gets up out the bed and goes to find whatever is left of his squadron. And so, that's it for King of Kings. I hope you liked the really weird ending. Come to your own conclusions in the comments. To be honest, this took a while because I wasn't really sure how to end it. Like, the final scene was supposed to be just Nathaniel's body laying there, but I decided to expand on it a little bit. Okay, so now that that's done, we can get back on schedule with the review of the second tokusatsu series on this channel, Superhuman Machine Metalder from 1987. Toei strikes again. Get excited for that, and until then, like, subscribe, and comment down below. In the meantime, later fools.